Hello all, and welcome back to Making Web-Based Technology Easier for 21st Century Teachers and Learners. I'm Phil Hochman, your course instructor. This tutorial talks about Hochman's taxonomy of comfort working with technology. And no, I have not trademarked this or copyrighted this, so if you're going to steal this from me, you feel free. I just want to share this from my experience working with teachers, working with other educators. I created this taxonomy because I found that different learners reach and interact with technology at different levels. We have to be aware of these different levels as they progress differently when working with different technologies. And the more that we're exposed, the more that we play, the more that we work with different technologies, the faster we move up through the taxonomy. So let's take a look here down at the bottom. Down here we have what we call the awareness level. A lot of the courses just bring you to this point, and at least out of this course you're going to be aware of different things that are available to you that maybe you weren't aware before you took the course, and that's always good. So being aware is the first step at moving up and working with and creating things using different technologies. And the biggest thing I like is free stuff. I want to share with you as many free sites as I can to help make your classroom environment a 24/7, 365 teaching environment. So once you're aware of the site, the next step would be obviously, can you navigate through it? Can you figure out how it works, the nuts and bolts? And every single site has a slightly different way that things are navigated. The way they interact, the buttons, the way things move forward and back, the way that you have to get your way through these different sites. So once you figure out the general gist, and once you play around with different sites, you figure out that they all pretty much have this very, very similar way of working through the different nuts and bolts of mechanics. Now, once you have the nuts and bolts, then you can begin exploring the possibilities of the sites. You can begin exploring how they interact with different websites, how they interact with different content, how you can have yourself or your students remix, remaster, remake different content to prove and produce different kinds of experiences and prove that they learned things. All right. So once you've explored the site, then obviously I want you to be able to use it. Make it part of your everyday routine. Can you make this, now that you've explored it, now that you navigate it, now that you're aware of it, can you make it part of your normal teaching practices? So that's the ultimate goal is that you actually use the stuff. Then once you've gotten all the way there, once you've had the ability, you're aware, you're able to navigate, you explore around the site, you use it, can you create new stuff? Okay, not just using stuff that's out there already, but can you make stuff that's your own? For example, I'm using a tool called Screencast-O-Matic. I am creating something using free tools that are out there to provide a 24/7, 365 learning environment for you. So do you have that ability? Can you share it? Can you put it in a way that's user-friendly for your students? So basically, each technology itself will take you through these steps. Some will be easier. Some you'll go from awareness to creation very quickly. Some will require a little bit more work. And as you keep working with technology, this whole process will become much, much easier. So, little recap. I'm going to make you aware of a lot of things. And if that's as far as you go, I'm okay with that. If you're able to navigate, explore, use, that's awesome. But ultimately, the big goal, especially for the final project, is that you create something. You make something for your students that never existed before. Something, maybe it's a lesson on something you've taught. Maybe it's just streamlining information for parents. Make it something that's useful for you. And ultimately, you're going to share where you're at now, working with technology, and then ultimately, when you're done at the end of the course, hopefully you've moved up some steps. So once again, that's the overview of Hochman's taxonomy of comfort, working with technology. Hopefully you've enjoyed.